Hello everyone, Spaced Oyster here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age. In the last episode, we fought first we found an Arcadian wayfarer who had posted a bill to hunt down a mysterious monster that every other hunter failed to defeat. In this episode, and then we also defeated it in the last episode. In this episode, we'll be continuing through the Sochen Cave Palace onto Arcadia. Don't have to worry about reporting back to that guy. That was an official hunt, but he does have a reward for you if you want to backtrack. Let's see, and this desiccated corpse is an adventurer bound for the capital. It would seem he didn't make it. Thank you, Captain Obvious! I wish I'd voted for Captain Obvious for president. I remember he was running. He even had a running mate and everything. She was right next to him. Zombies no confuse. That's not annoying to deal with. Yeah, the Sochen Cave Palace, aside from having, it has those mandragoras, but the area itself, for the moment, is actually quite easy to explore. Ooh, that's a new hat for Bosch. Yeah, there is an optional boss you can encounter down here. I think it's tied to a side quest, so you don't need to tackle it just yet. In fact, I would recommend putting it off till the end of the game, because aside from the enemy with the most HP in the game, it has a lot of HP, like the most. So definitely save the optional boss that's in here for the end game. Or I actually should call that the post game, because, yeah, pretty much the end game boss, he's not all that tough. There are lots of tougher enemies around. These gargoyles are so annoying. Anyway, exploring this place isn't all that tough. I don't think there are any special gimmicks or anything like that to exploring. It's just a cave with a bunch of different exits and entrances, and you just gotta find your way to the ones that lead to the things you want. There's a door up there. Do you think it says anything on the door? Let's go see if it says anything on the door. It seems really weird to me that they didn't give us a technic for jump, because it's a skill in the game. These aren't the first enemies that use it. The first enemies I've shown on screen that use it, but they're not the first I've encountered. When I was grinding on the Fawn Coast, I came across some Bonga pirates who were using spears and used jump. So it makes it all the more egregious that it's not a player's skill. But I guess they couldn't think of anything to do with it. Let's read the inscription. Wayfarer traveling the road to Arcades, the pilgrim's door holds not for you. That way lie trouble and confusion. You who are yet drawn towards the pilgrim's door, the heart of time and the deeds you must accomplish share their place midst the falls. From the heart, look north to heaven. From the heart, step south to earth. Walk in time's footfalls to open the way. Oh, and this door is locked. Okay, so I guess that door is the one we have to open, and we have to open it by doing what it says. It's a small riddle tied to the next room. A very small, pretty easy riddle. I think I'll probably have to just look it up again on how to get past it. For now, though, let's just explore this area. I want to explore it pretty thoroughly. I was reading up online, and I'm pretty sure there's a good weapon I want to pick up in here. Pretty sure. So far, I'm finding a lot of good armor. Let's see, that is the Hypno Crown. And a high potion. Yeah, and despite how much I do enjoy the whole gear and leveling system and all that in Final Fantasy XII, I actually kind of miss the system they use for Final Fantasy X, where your gear was mostly useful for its secondary effects, and your characters upgraded purely through their own skills by unlocking stuff on not their license board, but the sphere grid. I kind of really enjoyed that interesting take on a leveling system, since it did mean that player progress was entirely tied to how they leveled their characters, as opposed to what their characters were wearing as well. It's a neat touch, but I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy X wasn't the only RPG to do so. Although pretty sure doesn't actually account for 100% sure, or it's not the best metric of, yeah, you're totally right about that. Anyway, these waterfalls here, I don't think we can turn them off. They just keep going and going and going, and they just block off parts of the pathway. So in order to get around in this area, you just have to maneuver around them by going through certain doors and all that. It's slightly annoying, but it's honestly not all that bad. And then I think there are enemies in here who are weak to wind, so if you've got a black mage in your party, they're going to have a field day with that new Aerogus spell. Oh no, they're weak to thunder, so so your black mage will have a lot of fun with... Oh hey, you know what? Scratch that. We got some weak to wind, some others weak to thunder. A little bit annoying, but it's nothing we can't handle. I'm gonna check down that other pathway, see if there are any treasures lining the walls. Nope. Okay. And then we're actually gonna go down this doorway here. Way to go, my melee specialist type people. And let's go ahead and head down this one. Bad call, bad call. That one was right next to the other door we used. So instead, we'll go up a little bit. High potion! I wonder if people in Final Fantasy get high off of high potions. Like, is that why they got called high potion? Or is it just the obvious one of it's because it restores more health than a regular potion? It's a high potion. Wait, that doesn't make that much sense either. I'm just rambling at this point. Which I guess isn't always such a bad thing. But my rambling can get incessant. I think we're gonna have to go up from the south to get to that one. Yeah, and I think I know how. And if I'm wrong, then that is most likely the item I am hoping to find. But regardless, let's see if we can get there. I don't think we can get there. I think that's behind that pilgrim's door, and I definitely do not want to try and tackle that optional boss right now. Hey, there's the map, though. That'll be helpful. Oh, that was a neat looking attack. Alright. Map. 47 gil. Dang it. Yeah, the place is blocked. That place that I wanted to get to, it's blocked off by water. And I don't think we can get the water to change its flow without tackling that optional boss first. Might need to look more into that though. But I can do that on my own time. For now, let's just keep moving on. Sorry, I like the music cue. I shouldn't hum though. If I don't get this perfectly synced up, that humming would be horrible. Like very, very horrible. A strip of maggoty flesh. And lots of high potions. There is an accessory that I should have found before now, but I've been lazy about picking it up because I forgot where it was at. But it's an accessory that changes the contents of chests. I forget the exact name of it, again. I don't know why I keep bringing that up. But what I do know about it is that you don't need to have it equipped in the Zodiac Age for the most part. It'll just change most of these random chests that keep spawning. It'll change their contents from their usual gil to a knot of rust. So it's really only useful in a few select specific situations. I think there would be some chests in an area that's good for grinding in the late game that it probably maybe affects, but it's tough to tell. For the most part, you don't have to have it equipped. It is useful in that it gives you a thunder immunity, though. Anyway, I'm gonna check the other room that I didn't get to in here real quick. And then we'll move on into the last parts of the Sochen Palace. Sorry, Sochen Cave Palace. Lots of maggoty flesh. I think these enemies are all zombie types. So if you got the stuff that lets you get good drops from undead, then you're golden. I thought that was actually going to take me a lot longer, but no, Vaughn and Fran are doing some pretty good damage. And while Bosch's seems to be a bit low from what I can tell, at least it's not bad damage. Darn it, I was hoping one of those would be it. I guess I better just spill the beans. That treasure I was hoping to find was a ninja sword. A guide I looked at said that another ninja sword drops in here, and I think it's the next one in Ninja Swords 1. I'm a little worried it's in that chest on that part of the map I couldn't get to. It was blocked by a waterfall. But there's still a little bit more of this place to go, so hopefully I'll find it. And if not, then I'll be very, very sad. But I mean, if I don't keep up with Vaughn's ninja swords, worst case scenario, I do have daggers and spears. And what do we have here? This is Ahriman. It doesn't look anything like the actual enemy. But what I do know about it is that I believe it is an undead enemy. So what I'm going to try and do is set up a gambit targeting undead for Bosch, and I'm going to have him heal that son of a bitch. Excuse me, pardon my language. maybe I should just tape over that, re-record over that. Anyway, let's make sure I got the Sage's Ring equipped. Yeah, this place actually has 2 bosses. What are the odds? Oh yeah, he's totally undead. I honestly forgot he was here, though. This guy, he isn't too tricky. He's basically just gonna be a normal tank and spank with a few spells thrown in until you get him really low on health. Then he's gonna pull off a dick move. And there it is now. He can divide. And sadly, they also teleport. Yeah, not a lot of fun to deal with this guy. But fortunately, a white mage can make short work of him with Kiraga. Okay, Vaughn, let's go ahead and have you use... Let's see. It should be Nukai Sand. Remove Confuse from one ally. Let's take it off of Bosch first. And I am going to... Let's go ahead and make Fran immune to confusion, if possible. I know I picked up an accessory for that. Sleep. Bowline Sash. It is not possible. What about you, Vaughn? Vaughn can't do it either. Okay, you know what? For now, we'll just keep things as is. Yeah, when he teleports off like that, it's him going away to divide. But fortunately, or perhaps unfortunately, his clones all go down in one hit, I think. Yeah, it seems that way. Toxify, I think that might be bad. No, that's just AoE poison. Not too bad to deal with. Sorry this fight isn't all that more interesting. This guy's just being pretty annoying. Vaughn's pulling off an attack, then let's have him whip out an antidote. I'm thinking maybe I should have changed that to Kira instead of Kiraga. Let's go ahead and do that now. So that way I can just have Bosch AoE deal with all these enemies. Ugh, yeah, this is where it starts getting annoying. Let's see. Does Vaughn know any AoE techniques? Traveler. Also have you use antidotes. And I'm gonna go ahead and change Bosch's Undead Gambit back from Kira to Kiraga. Turns out I really didn't need him to do that. And... Nah. I was about to have Vaughn use another antidote, but that's actually not necessary at this point. Yeah, just pretty easy boss fight. Things can get out of hand if he starts to split too much, but anyone who's able to use an area of effect skill should be able to make short work of all the clones. Just wait for them to start ganging up on you. And then if you want to hit him with a quickening chain, when all those clones are up, I would just try and pay attention to their health totals. I do believe the one that's the real boss will have his health total displayed differently than all the other ones. Not 100% sure about that, though. But yeah, seriously, forgettable boss. Very, very easily forgettable. Alright, let's get my gambits fixed back up again. Fran can stop casting decoy. Oh, no wonder why Bosch never tried it. I had it set up for the wrong target. Aren't I observant? I mean, some people tell me I'm not all that observant, especially when I show surprise that the last president of the United States, he was black. Like, everyone just gives me this, no, really reaction. Like, it's the most obvious thing in the world. Ooh, treasures. I forgot about this one. Well, it's just a moat. Most of the treasures that show up in boss rooms are just going to be moats to cast spells and the whatnot.
It cannot end us.
Okay, that was a dick move. All these traps are a dick move. But I suppose that's okay, because it's not that inconvenient. Did this guy just headbutt us? Because he doesn't have a head. Oof, I don't even know what's up from down anymore. How can you headbutt without a head? When I was a kid, I remember playing through Pokemon, and when one of my critters learned the move headbutt, I had no idea that was just a literal, like, headbutt. I thought it had something to do with, like, hitting someone with your head, and then they turned around and hit them. But I was a really stupid kid. But at least my stupidity as a child pays off, because I can tell people funny stories about how not smart I was. Hey, more treasures. Maybe one of those is that ninja sword I want. But I'll definitely have to make sure after this episode I look up the Sochen Cave Palace and to see if that area that I wanted to get to, if that's something I just have to wait to do, or if I can actually get to it now. And if it's the latter, I'll make sure to put it on screen. I know I forget to do that sometimes with important extra stuff, but not this time, because I am thinking about it. As opposed to just doing it and then thinking, hey, I should have shown that on screen, and oops, too late. Alright, let's get a running. Well, hey, this room's got different music. It certainly sounds very peaceful in here. I like it when things sound peaceful. A layer of dust covers this device. It seems to operate the nearby lift. I don't know why I wasn't able to talk properly right there. Yeah. The Sochen Cave Palace is a little bit too annoying to navigate on repeat visits because of this elevator. They always show this cutscene of your active party members turning the elevator on, getting on, and then getting off of the elevator. Every single time. It does not get old if you have to come back here multiple times. Which, in a way, you kinda do. But fortunately, they also have a crystal here, so I guess having the teleport crystal right here more than makes up for that. Don't know why I made a save there, because actually it would have been better to go outside first. Because, believe it or not, we have finally made it to Arcadia. There's going to be a small cutscene, so I'll let that play, and then I'll call that an episode.
Ooh, smells less like a capital and more like a sewer.
Even empires have need of sewers. The runoff from Arcades proper pools here, those who lack papers to live in the city itself. The mighty who have fallen, and the fallen who would be mighty. Their eyes never leave Arcades.
I guess it must be a lot nicer than this place.
Oh, to be sure. Arcades reeks of a different filth. Let's be off. We can follow our noses to Draclo.
Yep, this is old Arcades. We've finally made it, and it wasn't inconvenient at all. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. This has been Spaced Oyster, signing out.